Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to a feel-good Friday. I'm also going to dub this Festival Friday because today we got Allison Fine in the building. We're talking about the Federal Way Community Festival. So I'm excited that she's here to give us the details on that. But you know it is the top of the show. So it's a great time to tag and share the stream. That's right. Participate with us, y'all. Go ahead and share the stream with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch our show, you can still listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find me on whichever platform is your favorite. There's like 200, y'all. So go ahead and search for us. You'll find us there. Well, before I get into it with Allison, I just want to say thank you to those who watched the special last night, The Day with Trae, an evening special with Raul Nefram the First. You heard me geeking out about it all throughout the week. I'm so excited and still stoked that we were able to capture that moment. Of course, if you did miss it, you can always still look for it on our platforms. And of course, YouTube is an easy way to find it as well. So feel free to search for it when you have some time to give it a good look. But again, an amazing time. And you know, I'm looking forward to doing more of these evening specials because we have so many phenomenal people in our area who are wanting to share their stories. And sometimes that means a longer time, you know, especially with some of our elders who have decades of amazing history of being so brilliant in community and being such a huge pillar in their own right. So I'm looking forward to doing more of those and bringing those your way. Well, also, before we go to quick break here, I just want to send a huge shout out to the Vibe Bingo community. Okay, last weekend, I didn't get to talk about it all week, but it was so amazing to be in space with so many people that just had an amazing time. And you know, we need more of this. You know, Seattle is, you know, realizing some of the brilliance and hidden gems that have been maybe laying dormant or doing things in smaller silos. But it's beautiful to know that we have so much great talent here that we can bring these amazing events and opportunities to the forefront for all of us to be able to participate. And it was a ball, but it just reminded me. It reminded me of the fact that like there are some phenomenal people looking to do some things here that you may think would only be like in New York or LA, maybe Atlanta, maybe in some of these hotter cities like Miami. But I love that we're like, no, even though we have the cloud sometimes, we're still bringing great times to the forefront for folks. And that's exciting to me. Being in this position, I get to experience and hear some of the great detailed planning that goes into bringing these events to life. So I'm excited because up next after this short break, we got Allison Fine in the building, and we're going to be learning about how Federal Way is bringing some amazing opportunities to be in community together with their Federal Way Community Festival right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
Welcome back everyone to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to thank Miss Allison Fine for joining me. What's up, Allison?
Hey, girl.
Long time no see.
Oh, I was actually just listening to our last interview, which was July 22.
Wow.
Right, but it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad to be here, and congratulations on the relaunch of your show and the new format and everything. I watch it as often as possible. I love it. And all of these cameras here, I think there's like one camera here 2 years ago. So the set is all upgraded. You're such a light in this community, and I'm so grateful to be able to have opportunity to share space with you here, but also just to be your friend. So.
Yeah, in community is where it's at. And I love that you are always so vocal in the South King County community. I mean, it's needed. We need more opportunities, especially with 14% Black families out there. We grew up with community festivals here in the Central District, right? And so when my mom and dad bought a house out there, we were like, well, what is there to do out here? There was nothing. It was kind of crickets. But I love that there's some phenomenal efforts that are happening specifically in Federal Way. Tell us a bit more.
So when I was here 2 years ago, we talked about how I used to do politics in Federal Way. I was the chair of the Democrats for 5 years, and then I had just sort of left that and transitioned into comedy, which I do have an announcement about that too at the end, hopefully. But there was space for me that I was missing, and that was the community work, right? So I decided to join the Federal Way Diversity Commission, which is just another way to serve my community in an official capacity. I've been seen as a community organizer there for a few years, but joining the Diversity Commission would help me directly affect what was going on at the city level. So I've been on that commission for about 2 years now, and back in 2019, or pre-pandemic, whatever we call that, before the pandemic, we had our very first festival, citywide festival it was called the Flavor of Federal Way. And it was an amazing event. Actually, the Democrats had a booth there, so I participated then. There was entertainment all day. It was about 4 hours long. There was entertainment, there was food trucks, there was vendors, there was retail vendors, nonprofits, health resources, all kinds of information about what was going on in Federal Way specifically. And it really brought the community together. There was probably 1,500, maybe 2,000 people that came through. And it was a really successful event that the Diversity Commission in the city put on. And then the world kind of paused, right? So when I joined the Diversity Commission, it was really important to me to bring this festival back. Like you, I grew up in an area in the Bay Area where there's a festival every weekend. Growing up in college, we used to have a festival called the Afrobean, so it was an African Caribbean festival, and there was 6 of 7 of them a summer, and every city would have one, right? There was all kinds of cultural and community festivals, and you never had a lack of things to do, but Federal Way doesn't have that. So I saw what we did at the Flavor as a step in that direction. And so it was a real personal goal for me to make sure that this festival came back. We also have what's called the Taste of Federal Way, which is actually something that our farmers market puts on. People got confused about the flavor of Federal Way versus the taste of Federal Way. Even though when we said flavor, we meant like flavor culturally, not flavor food-wise. But we did know that there was some confusion there. So when we were planning to revamp this festival, we changed the name now. It's officially the Federal Way Community Festival.
Yeah.
And so I'm chairing the committee that's putting that on, and I wanted to get in early to talk to you about it because you're such a great resource for the community and tell you kind of what we're looking for and when it is and all the things. So
Well, yeah, this is exciting because, I am a homeowner in Federal Way.
You are?
And so for me, this is really exciting because I think it's really going to be able to set a precedent. I mean, ultimately, the goal with any of these kinds of events, especially major ones for the city, is that they become annual, that everyone knows, like, all right, around this time of the year, it's that amazing festival and we all get to come and there's something for everyone. What are some of the things that y'all are bringing to the Federal Way Community Festival?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you the date. It is August 10th. We tried to be as mindful about that date because we talked about this 2 years ago. I started Federal Way Pride, and it's typically the first Saturday in August. But we also know that people enjoy things like Umoja Fest, and they go to festivals in Tacoma. So we tried to pick a weekend that seemed like it had the least amount going on in between Seattle to Tacoma, because we're sort of wedged in the middle there. So August 10th, we've expanded it to 7 hours because I wanted to make sure it was accessible to more people, because some people work in the mornings on Saturdays, some people work in the evenings. So it's 11 to 6 p.m. We're gonna have a DJ. We just locked in Sean Lewis, AKA Sean the Shaman. He's a fantastic DJ out of Pierce County, but he knows how to run a festival. And so he's worked with me on some other things. I'm really excited to bring him in. We will have entertainers probably every 20 minutes. We will have dance troupes, we will have singers, we will have hopefully some bands, we will have, we're really open, honestly, and that's one of the things we're looking for is entertainment, people to apply to be entertainers. We will have food trucks. I know that Friends with Benny, which is a very, very popular food truck, he will be there. The Cadillac Grill, Richard Ward, he's really well known in Seattle because he actually did a lot of the Seahawk tailgating stuff. And he's, in my opinion, the best barbecue truck that we have in the whole region. We have opportunities for retail vendors. So if you're a small business in Federal Way, I remember last time there was a woman there that she was a young Black woman. She sold T-shirts that had like really dynamic sayings on them, specifically aimed at like children. And I have a stepson who's half Black, so I had bought something from her. But we are open to retail vendors. We are open to nonprofits. The challenge here is that we don't know who exists anymore because a lot of businesses unfortunately closed during the pandemic, but a lot of businesses open during the pandemic. So we will have retail stuff, we will have health and resources. We're also partnering with the Diversity Commission. We're partnering with the Arts Commission. They actually have an arts explosion in May, at the end of May, which is at the Federal Way Pack. But from there, we will have a few booths set up so they can do like a highlight of Federal Way artists. So if you are a local artist, you can tap in with me. I can give you the information for the Arts Explosion, but also maybe you can be highlighted at the festival. We're also gonna have a kids area this year. So we're gonna have some jumpers, some face painters. Maybe we'll have some storytelling from the stage for kids. I know Curves Women's Gym, they're gonna do the electric slide. So that'll be a fun opportunity for everyone there. That's a lot.
Well, y'all are planning a lot, and I mean, this is what gets exciting. I think you've picked a good date there, and also expanding the time is really important because maybe folks can go to one thing and still stop by. So that's what's beautiful about it. But it's a full-on community effort, and I love that you saw the Day with Trae as an opportunity to get the word out so that more vendors know about this, more folks who want to tap in can do so. But also too, I just gotta say that this is really exciting because living in Federal Way, I heard about the flavor of Federal Way, the taste of Federal Way, and then I was like, COVID happened and a lot of things were shifting. I know a lot of my advocacy and organizing kind of happens in Seattle, but the ideas of what we learn in different places, how to bring it there, just like you said with the Bay Area, bringing that stuff there to Federal Way is so important when you have amazing organizers like yourself at the helm. This is really a big deal for the Diversity Commission, to really kind of stamp itself as a pillar of the Federal Way community. And so y'all have tell us a little bit more about the logistics of that, because you got to apply to be on the commission. Each role lasts for some time. Tell us a little bit about those logistics.
I'm really glad you asked that question, because we actually have some openings right now. So we have multiple commissions at the city. Most cities have various commissions, and they're focused on their specific area. The Diversity Commission, our intent is really to be there to help guide diversity, equity, access, and inclusion efforts, both within City Hall and best practices around things like that. For instance, pronoun trainings, right? Like, we want to make sure that every single person that works at Federal Way City Hall has an understanding of why some people are she, her, and some people are, he, him, and some people are they, them, and some people have a various, diversity in their pronouns. We want to make sure that we're staying on top of those efforts, because Federal Way tends to have we are a newer, younger community, right? We had a lot of retirees and a lot of older people, and in the last 20 years, for a lot of reasons, we're much younger. So we want to make sure that we stay on top of progress. The Diversity Commission also puts on our MLK event, and we have a huge and fantastic MLK event at the Performing Arts Center. It's a 2-hour-long event with speakers and speeches and dance troupes and children events. So the Diversity Commission puts that on. We also do Roger Freeman, who was a pillar in our community. He was a lawyer. He was a state representative. He passed away of cancer very young. We do every single year we do an award that kids can apply to, and there's different criteria every year, and they can win money. We don't get a lot of participation from that because we don't get the word out. Yeah. And so we have a lot of different things that we do as a diversity commission. When you apply, you can go online to the Federal Way website, thecityofFederalway.com. Go under boards and commissions, I think is the link. You can go to whatever commission you're interested on. There's an application, and then yes, there's a term limit. Mm-hmm. So a term is typically 2 years, unless you're taking over someone else's term. But you can reapply to continue to stay on the commission if you're interested in doing so. And right now we do have 2 voting member openings, and our commission is made up of all Black women, except for Ron Walker, who's a Black man, and then me. I'm the only white person. Not that we need a lot of white people, but I would love to see people from the Asian community, the Pacific Islander community, from the Latina community, or Latino community. I think we need more diversity on our commission to fully represent Federal Way. So I've actually been talking to some other organizations to try and see if we can get some candidates in there to truly have a diverse commission. Yeah. To continue to do the work, because we don't know who we don't know. We don't know what other events are going on. That's something else that it's on our work plan, is actually to create a community calendar. Nice. So people from different communities can just add to the calendar. And then if you have a free weekend, which you never have a free weekend, but should you have a free weekend and you want to go do something with your kids, you can look on our community calendar and seeing there's something at, a Sikh church that's going on, or there's something at within the Korean community, they're having some sort of an event or a festival. We want to provide access to people, and centralizing that information is really important.
Yeah, it really is. But also, I love what you said about representation, because that's how you get to spread out into the communities, right? Yep. When you have folks that are representing different backgrounds, cultures, ethnicities, really you're getting a full breadth of what people can do, because they're like, oh, well, we do this thing and we just kind of kept it small, but it would be great for the city to know about it so more people can know, or maybe more people can participate. So I really love that you said that. But also, just huge shout out to all of the commissioners for, putting some time in to make our cities better, because the ultimate goal really is to make sure that everyone feels like they belong. But that means representation is important, and the commissions really have a huge part in that.
Yeah, I would say, sometimes there's tough topics to talk about, right? Recently, because I represent the Pride community, or the LGBT community in our area, I was there in June when there was a proclamation for Pride Month, and public comment happened before I got to accept that. And there were some of my neighbors who had some not so nice things to say about queer people. And it was really tough to sit in that room. It was really tough to then supposed to celebrate Pride Month after listening to what my neighbors have to say. And that and another meeting that happened where one of our city council members made some disparaging remarks about a drag show that had happened at our Performing Arts Center, those sparked the Diversity Commission to be in action, right? And so we went and said, these are not acceptable behaviors from our community members or our city council, and this is what we would like to see. We can't control what happens during public comment at a city council meeting. We can say, we think this is how the mayor and the city council should respond. And that has prompted some change, including an expectation that when people are saying things that are hate speech, even though it is public comment and it is free speech, there are certain things, there are limits to that. And so we have an expectation set that when hate speech is said, it gets cut off. Yeah. And that even if it's something within the free speech sort of realm, if it's bordering that, it's okay for the mayor to say, hey, thanks for your public comment, but I just want to remind you that Federal Way is a supportive and inclusive community. Yeah. And when we don't see that happening, the Diversity Commission goes into action, and we send emails or we send official messaging to the city council, to the mayor, and say, you need to do better. Mm-hmm. And that's something that you know me really well. You know that's really important to me, that we say, hey, maybe you didn't know how to deal with it this time, but next time, do it better. Yeah. Next time, be a better example of what diversity should really look like in our community and what inclusion should really look like. Yeah, we just had another situation at a private business. They had one of those like flashing signs, like a traffic sign, but it was outside of a private business. Somebody hacked it, and they said some really negative things about white women dating black men. And I'm not going to repeat what it said, but it wasn't nice. We don't have control over that at the city. But again, these are things that we can respond to. These are things that we're now asking the mayor. Like, it wasn't a city sign. We know that. It was hacked. It wasn't intentional by anybody except somebody that was hateful behind a keyboard somewhere. But it's okay to still say from city council meetings, say, hey, this happened. This is not acceptable in our city.
Yeah, and it doesn't reflect really the values there. It shouldn't be reflective of any values that the city wants to hold dear. But you mentioned something early on here around your comedy, and I definitely want to give you some time because you've been emerging. I mean, you've been doing stage, this, that, shows, and open mics, and opening the door for new comedians. Yeah. Tell us about more of how that's transpiring in your life.
Well, it's not transgressing, that's right. For sure. But when I came here July 22, and I met you here the first time to be interviewed, I wasn't even a year in comedy. And I came here, we talked about politics, shocking. And then we talked about a show I was doing called the Fresh and Funny Comedy Show, where I was bringing out Erica Clark. She was Mr. T's daughter. And we ended up having that event. It was at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. It holds about 280 people. I was very new into comedy, and I was still working full time at my state job, which I have since quit so I could focus on some other things. And I still got about 180 people in the door. And I was very proud of the work that I did. I then went on last year. There was a young woman who had cancer, and she was a friend of the club, basically a friend of Nate Jackson's, a personal friend of Nate Jackson's. And I saw a GoFundMe for her, and I was like, GoFundMes are great to help people when they're sick, but we have an entire club, and we have Nate Jackson at our disposal, right? So I threw a comedy show, which was a fundraiser for her, and I did it, with a lot of support, but I was definitely the primary person, and I raised $10,000 for this woman's benefit. And those are some of the big shows that I've done, but I also do a lot of small shows. I still run the Open Mic Collective, which has multiple open mics a week. I think right now we're at 10 open mics a month, maybe 12, I don't know. It's always changing. But I'm really proud of the comedy I do, not only myself, but the work that I do on the production side. On a personal level, I went to Canada in November for 9 days with Sterling Scott, who's one of the best Black comedians, one of the best comedians, period, but I think the best Black comedian in all of Canada. He's actually on Canada's Got Talent right now. He just got the golden ticket. He took me in, he met me at Nate Jackson's, invited me to Canada. I spent 9 days there, and then it changed my life, just working with a professional, living at his house. We did 14 shows in 8 days. It was insane. I came back a better comic and a better person. And I've sort of readjusted my priorities. I wanted to do fresh and funny again. So I partnered with a comedian that I know. His name is, he goes by Dubs General. He is out of Austin, and he's gonna be coming here. I went back to Nate Jackson, and it's hard to get back to Nate Jackson, because if you're watching Nate Jackson's on a world tour right now, and he's doing theaters. He went from producing his own club tour to now doing theaters and selling out theaters. But I sent him a proposal, said I want to bring Fresh and Funny back, and just last week I confirmed that we're bringing Fresh and Funny comedy show back to Nate Jackson's on Thursday, the 13th of June. Dubs General's gonna be there. Ken Hamlet, who lives in Chicago, but he's from here. He's gonna be one of our co-headliners. And then everyone loves her, Tawana Buchanan, the controversy queen. We're having a triple headliner. I'm gonna host it. Mark Dukes, who's actually hilarious. He's from Seattle as well. I just locked in the lineup. I'm looking for sponsors for that too. I'm looking for everything for that. So more information to come. I have a flyer that is, flyers for all of this, the festival, flyers for the show. But one of the things I decided to do was add a component of giving back. Because I raised that money for my friend with cancer last year, I realized how impactful that is. So this particular show, we're gonna have some raffles. If you have a raffle prize, please contact me. We're gonna have some raffles. We're gonna do a 50-50 drawing, and all that money is gonna, and a portion of the ticket sales is all gonna go towards a local recovery center. The next one, maybe do a mental health center. The next one, a queer organization. Each one of these Fresh and Funnies, I wanna have a portion of giving back, because anyone who knows me knows in my spirit, community matters to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Community matters.
Well, this is really so special, and you're right. I mean, this is some amazing work that you're putting out and really opening the door for others to participate. So thank you for all of your efforts, because it's folks like you who help to keep all the stuff flowing. I mean, we need all these opportunities. But before I let you go, I saw you had a little something behind you. I didn't know exactly what it was, y'all, but I wanted to make sure we didn't let that slip.
Yeah, so what I decided to do, well, first of all, I will say for the community festival, we are looking right now, we are looking for entertainers and food trucks and vendors. I'm gonna send all the links, so hopefully all the links can get posted. You can also email fwcomfest, C-O-M-F-E-S-T, at gmail.com. If you're interested in getting more information, we have all that stuff online now, so please apply for that. If you're interested in getting tickets to my show or being a sponsor there, please reach out to me for that. I'll put all the links to my social media and stuff on there. But what I brought you this is actually my brand. My last name is Fine. I'm Fine Entertainment is my production side. And so I got a one-off sweatshirt made about 2 months ago. Shout out to the homie Carlos Salas, who helped me get that together. I posted a picture of it on my social media. It was just me thinking I was cool wearing my hoodie or whatever. And like 35 people were like, I want to buy. So I started selling my merch, right? And so today, like, I have a blue one on, I have a t-shirt on, excuse me. But I brought you hot off the presses, your very own. So this is the front, because my hustle, I mean, in all different facets, my hustle is real. On the back, it has my logo. That's so dope. And I actually gave one already to Omari, and I'm gonna get one for Eric and Eric Calligraphy here. And I brought that for you.
So special.
Yes, because you guys, I know, unofficially, I'm the Converge person in South King County and Pierce County, because you don't have time to cover all these places. Yeah. So, I had to say a personal thank you to you, because when we met recently, I said, do you know these people? Do you know this organization? And you're like, I don't know everything. And so I have been creating a list of all the important people and the important organizations that I think you need to know about. They need to come share this space with you here on the Day with Trae.
Send the list my way, my friends. Send it my way. Thank you so much.
You're
Allison.
such a dynamic person, and I'm just so grateful to share space. I know that this is not really for people like me necessarily, but I think you see my love and passion for my community, and that's where it resonates with you. And you're always open and willing to let me have just a little piece of Trae, and I really love you for that.
Hey, I love you back. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, and thanks for bringing all the information here. Y'all, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, you definitely want to be inspired, but as she said, if you are looking to tap into the Federal Way Community Festival, make sure y'all hit that email up, go to the Federal Way website, figure out the dates, figure out how you can get in, because this is a great opportunity to bring so much of the brilliance that we may not know about in Federal Way to the surface for everyone to participate in, support, and enjoy. I'm gonna wrap all of this amazing stuff up right after this short break. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. You miss me, we gon' get crazy, don't need a power slide.
Copy my steel, face this back that. Copy my steel, face this back that.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. I'll see you guys in a few.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a fantastic Friday. Huge shout out to my guest, Allison Fine. You know what? It was indeed a fine Friday, y'all, as she brought us all of this amazing information that we get to utilize in what we can participate in, not only about the Federal Way Community Festival. Of course, here's the flyer. If you are looking to get more information, if you are looking to be one of those vendors, if you are trying to say, hey, we got amazing talent, how can we get on? How can we make sure people know about us? Please go ahead and tap into that. But of course, if you are looking to participate on the comedy side, y'all can do that as well. Hit her up on Instagram. Y'all can find her there, and she will make sure she plugs you in, because she's one of those community connectors that we need in our community. Of course, y'all have had an amazing week with all of you. I want you to be inspired by all my guests this week and be inspired by what Allison shared here today. You too can be a part of the solution. I promise you, you can, and we'll all be better for it. And for me, y'all, until Monday at 11 a.m., peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.